Hey guys, my name is James Walsh, and you are listening to the Wrestling Epicenter here on YouTube. I want to thank you for finding us. Please do me a favor and click that subscribe button and the notifications bell. And if you get the chance on this video, click the like button. If you do, it'll turn blue. Check it out. Also, check out WrestlingEpicenter.com for all this great content available in MP3 format, our online store that'll keep us going free and clear, daily news updates, as well as all the information from the history of professional wrestling you could possibly ever want. Check out WrestlingEpicenter.com online right now. Without any delay, let's get to your interview here on the Wrestling Epicenter. Hey guys, it's James Walsh here from the Wrestling Epicenter, airing some of our classic episodes of Interactive Wrestling Radio. The Interactive Interview, Wrestling Epicenter, The Blaze, whatever you want to call us. We're airing some of those classic episodes, and this is one that is pretty special to me for a lot of different reasons. Not the least of which is that it's Daffney, who was freaking unbelievably attractive, freaking unbelievably talented. But there's two reasons, maybe three, that I really like this interview. Number one, it was the last one that I recall us recording for our AM radio days. And it was pretty bare bones, recording style-wise, because I had no access to the Blaze equipment. I had no access to even my own equipment at the time, which is why the audio quality wasn't as good as normal. I've been able to do a little bit of cleanup thanks to modern technology that makes it sound a little bit better, but still not up to our standards, certainly of today. Great interview, though, with a great person. The reason why it's special, as well, is my wife, Caroline, actually helped me set this interview up because she's a woman and basically vouched for the fact that I'm not a scumbag. And that's kind of the third reason as well. She had done an interview, she being Daffney, where the guy who was interviewing her just wanted to talk about her time dating CM Punk. Now, I don't know about that guy, who was probably my biggest and maybe even only competition at the time. Wrestling radio wasn't what it is today, where there's 6,000 shows and everybody's got an opinion. Back then, it was just the few who were lucky enough to fall into it, which is what I was. Well, this guy had her on and basically did this uncomfortable interview where all they did was talk about when she dated CM Punk. Now, call me crazy, but if I'm going to try and flirt, I don't want to find out information about CM Punk. You got a pretty good-looking girl on the phone, guy. Anyway, Daffney, great career, great interview. This was done in 2006. She had a heck of a career after this, with her time in TNA and beyond. But I hope you guys really like this interview, because I really enjoyed bringing it. One of the coolest chicks ever in wrestling, and one of my favorite interviews ever in the history of our show, which is, at the time that I'm posting this in 2020, over 700 in the books. And this was episode number 206, for those keeping score at home. Welcome back to the Blaze 1260 AM and the Wrestling Epicenter. We're now being joined by former WCW diva, Miss Daffney. Daffney, how are you doing?
What's up?
Good to have you on the program. It's been a long time coming.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
And we heard an interview. I don't really want to bury anybody else, but we heard an interview about a year ago, and I kind of, ever since then, I've just said to myself, I want to show them how it's done. Exactly.
Show them how it's really done.
Yeah.
Well, good. Well, go for it.
All right, well, here's a boring question.
Okay.
All right, so how is it that you ended up in this crazy world of professional wrestling?
Oh, gosh, that's like, long story. It was just, it was a little acting job. They wanted me to just stalk David Flair. And once they saw that, I was athletic and gymnastics and had done like a little bit of stuff here and there, and they just saw me getting in the ring with Crowbar, they were like, wow, would you be willing to go and train on your days off?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, yeah, and I did it, and then I showed the initiative, and then they offered me the contract. So, and then I just would train, I would go up and do Nitro, Thunder, Wednesday tapings, or Saturday night tapings on Wednesdays, and then come home and go to the power plant the other days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of, I did start there, but then when I got let go, I worked the indie scene for years, and I kind of feel like I paid my dues, but just in reverse order.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
That makes total sense. Now, was this during your time at Georgia State University, or was it after?
No, this is after I graduated. Yeah, I had been out of college for about a year. So, yeah, it was later in life. I'm getting old.
Yeah, not too old, though. You're at least in the 20s by then. Now, before wrestling, you did some acting roles. What were some of the bigger movies that we might have seen you in?
Oh, gosh, nothing. Mostly, I did some things when I was younger. I lived overseas, but mostly it was just like voiceovers and things like that. And I had been on a few auditions when they called and asked me to audition for WCW. And like I said, it was only supposed to be 4 weeks part, and then turned into, gosh, going on 8 years now, 7 years.
That's hard to think
7
about.
years with a 2-year hiatus. So,
Well, actually, you have the same degree that Mr. Brooks is going for right now.
Okay, one more semester left, but soon to have the same degree as I will. So.
Sweet. It's
Yeah.
Cool. Where do you go to school?
At Arizona State University, ASU. I think we're a Sun Devil, and you were the Sun Devils, and you guys are like the Blue Panthers or something like that.
Yeah, we were the Panthers. I don't know if we were blue or not. Because Georgia State is right in the middle of downtown and downtown Atlanta, and Atlanta is such a big. It's this concrete jungle. The campus was in the middle of all the skyscrapers. There really wasn't. It wasn't like going off to school and being. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I didn't really get that whole college. I never went to a football game. I didn't even. It was like going to school, but kind of hard to. Yeah, but yeah, we were the Panthers, and like I said, I don't even know how good our teams were. I've kind of tried to follow the girls' soccer team, but I heard we sucked, so I was like, ooh.
Yeah, well, ASU's kind of been half, kind of like ATL, but, in the same time we have our own little, our own little college experience here. Now, back to your gimmick at WCW. First, you had kind of like this eagle laugh, like eagle witch laugh. And, that's really hot, by the way, but why don't you kind of change it to a scream later on?
Oh, well, gosh, I never took away the laugh.
Oh, man, I thought the laugh was so hot, man. I don't want to sound like a perv, but, man, I thought that was so hot.
No.
It's like freaky. It was cool.
Gosh, and I still do both when I perform now. But I guess just the scream just pissed people off so much that I just had to keep doing it, and I did that more. But no, I would laugh, I would scream, I would do the whole I can't even remember the bully's name off The Simpsons.
Oh,
get one of those all the time.
Nelson, yeah.
Yeah, Nelson. I had to totally bite that from him. But so no, I would hiss, because or I don't know, just anything when you're out there to get a reaction. But yeah, I still do the little laugh here and there.
Your character changed quite a lot. When you came in, you were more the sinister, stalkerish person, like you mentioned. But towards the end, you actually became this like lovable, gothic. I don't know what you would call her. She was just kind of like a man-child of some kind, or woman-child.
Wow, that's a compliment.
Take it as a compliment. You were the female Pee Wee Herman. No, I'm just kidding. No, but seriously, like, which one is more who you are as a person?
Oh, neither.
Neither?
None of it. It's a character. Yeah. It's just not. But I do agree with you. I think it's funny how I just totally turned face. Like, I don't know how it happened. I guess David poo-pooing on me and everything. It just I was such an ultra heel, and I think I prefer being a face. But where I'm working right now, I'm ultra heel. But then I'm like a tweener, because like half the crowd's yelling for me, and then the other half of the crowd is like, "You suck, Daffney." So I like being a tweener, to be honest with you.
Where are you working now?
Well, I actually hold a title right now.
Oh, really?
Yes, I have the strap. I need to get my pictures developed so I can put them up because it was just a couple weeks ago. I am the first ever woman Alabama junior heavyweight champion of the world. So there you have it.
All right, I love the Michael Buffer.
Oh hell yeah! You have to incorporate all of that into your title because that's everything. So.
That's right. I went down and rehearsed it before the show on Wednesday.
So how? Because I know when I'm telling everyone, I'm like, no, you have to say it like this.
The whole Michael Buffer style, as it is.
Well, I just think it's funny because it's Alabama then of the world. So,
yeah.
Alabama champion of the world. Woohoo!
That's pretty cool. Now
that's like regional national champion. What is that? Is it regional or is it national?
It's just a regional champion. It's the Alabama champion of the world.
State champion of the world.
State champion of the world. Now, it does not only include the state of Alabama, but of the single globe known as Earth.
Yes.
That is it. That is correct.
Who did you defeat to capture that belt?
I defeated El Mexicana. And before that, I think I'm defending I know I'm defending the title July 14th. Here in Beham, but I think I'm wrestling the midget. I don't know. I'm excited about it. It's going to be tons of fun.
Do you think most men are intimidated by you when they step in the ring? Are they just kind of like, oh?
No, and it kind of, not intimidated by me in the fact that they think I'm a badass. I think that they think that excuse my French, I think they think I'm a pussy. And that was a problem I had in this last match. I was trying to get on my Mexicana. I was like, okay, we're going to do this, this, and this. I'm going to hit you with this, this, and this. Because it's a real short match because I don't do singles matches anymore. I'm a manager.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer to manage. That's my forte. There's more acting involved. I don't like to have singles matches. It's just too much pressure. It's just, I don't know. I just really, really enjoy managing. But they stuck me in this storyline, which I'm honored because I'm holding the belt, but I have to wrestle guys. And so, because I'm holding the man's belt. So, we just do a few things and then we cheat and we win. But he missed me by a mile because he was afraid to land an elbow. He was afraid to kick me back into the turnbuckle. And just because he was supposed to be the face, I'm supposed to be the heel, but he's beating up on the girl, so hence the tweener action.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and so I think he was intimidated and he didn't want to hurt me. And I was trying to show him beforehand when he's like cutting me off with the elbow. I mean, I bumped hard. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bump. And everyone's like, damn, you're just practicing. I'm like, yeah, but I practice how I do it. And I only do it one time. It's like, okay, let's do it one time for real. So then when we do it live, because there's no do-overs, so, and he had to give me a power slam, and I've never taken a power slam. Girls don't really power slam each other. And he wouldn't do it. And so when I went to take it live, I fucked it up. Ooh, excuse me, I'm sorry.
That's okay, we can edit it. That's the advantage of being taped.
Fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post.
So yeah, so I messed it up, and it looked like he hurt me. It didn't look very smooth, and it wasn't his fault, because he just, especially I think being Latin and having that whole no violence against women, just not wanting any violence towards women, he really was nervous about working me. So, but I tried to show him, I was like, look, dude, I'm not going to break. Lay it in.
Hey, you're the former WCW Cruiserweight Champion.
Yeah,
so. You can take it.
So, and I had a mixed tag match a couple weeks prior, a couple months prior, and the guy that I was working there, he was going to take the Frankensteiner, and he was so scared, and I just got in there, and I had to take all this heat in the corner, and I'm like, do it, and I'm selling like how I'm going to sell, and the guy who's the owner of the Little Fez was like, she's not a wimp. You can lay it in on her because he knew me. Like, seriously, give me something to sell. You know, I mean, don't hurt me, and I'm definitely not stiff. So give me something to sell. Don't make me look like an idiot when you go to punch me and you miss me by, a foot. So, no, I hate that. I hate it when you're like, oh, boo, they missed, and she sold it anyway.
Right.
Boo. So, as far as being intimidated by me in any other way, no. I mean, I'm this little bitty thing. So.
Well, I just mentioned a second ago that you actually have the WCW Cruiserweight Championship. I'm not sure. I guess I can apply it to both. Is there any kind of anger from the boys that you, a female, are holding a male's championship?
God, at that point, I was so green that I probably there was. I mean, I don't know. I never had anyone say anything to me or do anything. I was so honored and thankful, and it's like, wow, this is just awesome. And how I got to work against Crowbar and do some stuff with him and everything. I mean, it was really cool, but I don't know if it pissed anybody off. I never had anybody say anything to my face. So, but, I mean, it's not like I held it for 2 weeks anyway. So.
Right. It's not like you were the reigning champion for a long period of time.
So, yeah, it's not like I had this long run or anything. But, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, there's one cool thing.
Go ahead.
Okay, there was one really cool thing you did, or at least we heard about back in WCW. You and David Flair and Crowbar, you guys all went to Ric Flair's house, and you guys were pretty much just like screwing around his house. I think there was a part where you tried on one of his robes.
Right, they filmed it for the TV, yeah.
Yeah. They freaking edited that. They edited that out. So when because I mean we go in and I'm just cutting up. I'm just like Russo's talking to David. David, come to the dark side. Blah blah blah. And I'm just in the background doing the Ric Flair chat going, woo! I'm in his house. I start jumping on his bed. I'm like, I'm on Space Mountain, woo! So I just did all this stuff in the background. That's how I do. Like people, Rick and David will be cutting promos back and forth, and I'm behind David's shoulder making horse faces at Rick. Just trying to make him crack. Just for the hell of it. And it was funny. Like people, I'd come to the back and they'd be like, I couldn't even pay attention to what they were saying because you were just making me laugh. So I just would do stupid shit. So I go into his closet, and this man has so many pairs of shoes. I mean, it is ridiculous. I'm like, I don't even have, his closet is just crazy. And I have all the robes, and I'm walking out. And I'm like, can I touch them? Because, I mean, and he's like, yeah, you can touch them. He's like, here, try one on. I was like, how hilarious would it be if we all put on robes and we all are just walking around with his robes on and he's trying, And so we did a couple takes like that, and then we did a few without, and they didn't use them. And I'm like, boo, because it was hilarious. And let me tell you how much one of those robes weighs. They are so heavy. I went to go try to put it on, and I was like, "Oh my Lord!" I mean, the lady who makes them. I mean, they take months to make, and she hand sews everything, and they are very, very expensive. But it was one of the highlights, and I'm so mad I don't have any of it on tape of me walking around with a Nature Boy robe on. I mean, I was just like, this isn't really happening. That whole day. It was awesome. It was awesome. And then his wife was very nice. His children were very nice. He was very hospitable. He's always really cool to me. He's always like, Dad, you make me laugh so hard. So when I see him, so it was an honor to be in his house. It was really cool.
It's actually a funny story about those robes. I heard that in the height of the NWA, Flair and I want to say Dusty, but I could be wrong, actually had or maybe it was Nick Bockwinkel, I don't know. One of them were battling on who could have the more expensive robe made.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. Yeah, I think Rick has so many of them that he has got so many robes. It's ridiculous. so I can't even count. I mean, it was like half his closet.
Hmm.
So, but, you know, a lifetime of collecting them, so.
Hmm. Sweet. All right, well, the next question I have for you is, again, like perverted, but not really. Why the bodysuit at Bash the Beach 2000?
Oh, God, because I'm fat.
Oh, come on.
And who can hang with Stacy Keebler's legs? I mean, really. I was like, really? You guys really think that the crowd wants to see my ass? And I would probably have worn granny panties. I thought about that after the fact, and I really wish I would have worn, like, old school, like, bloomers or something. Because I have some, and I don't know why I did not wear them. But I wish I would have done that instead, because that would have been more comedy as opposed to this ugly-ass tan bodysuit. But because they were insistent upon me losing my dress, and I was like, no, I'm not. You know, I'm sorry, but I'm not gonna be. You know, I'm not gonna be in my underwear, and what kind of underwear they wanted me to wear. I was like, no, I'm not. And I mean, I was like, but I mean. People don't want to see me in my underwear. People want to see Stacy anyway. So why don't you just have me I'll wrestle in a hot dress and Daffney style, do some comedy. I mean, it was my idea to do the whole food thing because it's not like we could have a match. Neither one of us really knew how to work.
Sure, yeah.
So, you know, but I just, I'm very self-conscious about my body. And I was just like, I really didn't feel comfortable exposing that. And so my way was creatively, I came up with a black lace dress with a bodysuit underneath, so it looked like I was naked, but I wasn't. So that's why I was trying to be a lady about it. I was trying to be a good sport about it. Like I said, I was throwing out ideas to kind of try to compensate for the fact that I really didn't feel comfortable getting stripped on TV.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that's why I did it. Like I said, again, if I could do over, hit rewind, I would have done something funny, like worn like really old, you know, granny underwear or something funny like that, and covered myself that way, which would have been hilarious. But I was supposed to be the good guy.
Right. Right.
And they laugh at me, so I don't know. At that point, I did not know what to do. I got heat. Anything I chose to do, I was going to get heat. So, you know.
Yeah.
It was whatever.
Yeah. Those moments happen. Now, another long old angle back in WCW, they had one where Crowbar kind of played it that he liked you, but you only saw him as a friend. Pretty much the classic relationship for any guy in the world.
Right.
And then they brought in this weird clone named Ozzy, and turns out the story never really had an ending, and we were wondering why.
Because I don't think anybody really got it. I had somebody ask me about that, actually, at the this last Russell Birmingham show I did. And they were like, yeah, and then you did that one thing with that guy. He's like, yeah, Crowbar had a crush on you, and then you ended up dating this guy that looked just like him, huh? You know, and I was like, you got that? So somebody got it. But the office just didn't think the storyline was getting over, and so they pulled it.
Mm.
So I didn't really think it was that good of an idea, and at that point, I really had my heart set on either staying with Crowbar or they had talked about putting me with Christopher Daniels, and that was when he came to WCW, and he had a dark match. And he did a moonsault, and he almost broke his neck.
Yeah, I think they aired that match, didn't they?
I'm sure they probably have. Oh my God! And I mean, he is such a sweet, sweet man, and I was pulling for him. I wanted to work with him. We were friends. I really thought we could have something good going. We had good chemistry, and then next thing I know, that happened, and they didn't hire him, and that was really sad. And I think he had to take some time off to recover from that. So,
I mean, I knew that the ending of that match was him trying to give what he now calls the angel's wings. And it just, you could tell that something wasn't right because it did not look the way it should look.
It messed him up. If you look at the tape, it was just one of those unlucky things. I mean, how many times have you seen Christopher Daniels mess up? You know,
Not
it
many.
was just unlucky. you know, and I felt for him. So, but he's fine now, obviously, and doing great. But that was kind of the direction I wanted to go. I wanted to have Daniels and Crowbar run a storyline. Nothing against Ashley or anything, but I just felt you know, Daniels can talk. Daniels can really, really work. Ashley, I don't think had been working for really very, very long. That was his real name. His real name was Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, it was, but, you know, whatever. And I'm happy to see Daniels is where he is now. So he definitely deserves everything he's getting because he is one awesome wrestler.
When Bischoff was supposedly buying the company, they pretty much cleared house of all the girls that weren't dating one of his friends. You liked that line, didn't you?
That's funny. No, I'm sorry. That's hilarious.
All righty. Well, I mean, was it crushing to you girls to just see yourselves all just go down the drain just like that?
You mean like when they let go, like me, Major Guns, Tigress, Paisley,
right?
Like all at once, that one, that like right at the end there.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I don't think it really matters, like, what's going on. I mean, it's always devastating to be let go. I mean, it just makes you feel like a failure. It makes you feel like you're no good, that you're not talented, that, you know, I mean, it's just always, really, I mean, it's happened to me twice now. And so, it's, you know, and the other circumstances really don't affect it. It's just the fact that you're being let go. I don't know, and it's your life, and you're like, now what? You know, and I offer to take a pay cut, and they say, no. And I'm like, well, should I stick around and keep training? We think you should try something else. So, I mean, you know.
That's insulting.
Exactly. You just walk away with your tail between your legs. Really? I mean, what can you do?
Yeah.
So, the whole, I never really put much thought into who's dating who or who was doing what. It was just, I was just upset to be not working anymore. And I was upset that WWE didn't want to pick up my contract. But I tried.
Oh, well. You bounced back, though. That's what's important.
I try.
Yeah, you're still around. Now, TNA then later on had a huge source from the women on their first broadcast, and then, like WCW, cut them all off, and which was unfortunate. What do you think of the debut of TNA as for almost 4 years later, and why didn't they do anything with the collection of divas they had in the first place?
Why didn't they do anything with
the collection of divas they had at TNA?
With the question of divas?
No, the collection of divas.
Oh, collection. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm going deaf. It's because I screamed too much. All right, it's just too many blows to the head.
It happens.
Don't worry about it. It's probably just a bad cell connection or something.
Problem.
I don't know. You know, I can't answer that. I don't know why people choose to do what they do. I mean, I don't know. I felt like they were really, because it was a pay-per-view, they were really just wanting to push TNA. And that's cool and all for a 5-second cat fight, but then what? And I don't think they really thought too much past that in the beginning. It was just because they were on pay-per-view and they could do that. That was something that WWF could not do. So, but I mean, that's just me guessing or assuming. I really have no idea. I know the first pay-per-view was a whole lot of fun and I had a blast. I got to meet and work with some of my nearest and dearest friends, so that was cool. And then I tried to get them to pick me up after that. And I would just drive to Nashville every week and just, please, will you use me? But that never really happened either, so, well.
Wow. Well, everything worked out. You got a WWE developmental contract, and they made your gimmick Lucy. Unfortunately, I really didn't get a lot to see. I didn't get a chance to see a lot of OVW. Now, could you explain the concept of the Lucy character?
Actually, I came up with that character
Really?
before and was working indies and did Ring of Honor. as Lucy. And then Lucy was just kind of supposed to be gothic pinup girl more. And then I wanted to do the whole Lucy and like Ricky Ricardo thing, and she could be in Spanish like this, and she could be like, Lucy, you got some Spanish to do, and you could do the whole thing like that, you know, like this at that time. But so I pitched many different versions of Lucy, and but then, you know, eventually you would find out their last name is Fur, and she's Lucy Fur, the devil herself, 2 horns and a tail, don't you forget it. You know, just that sort of thing, and it was just unfortunate because I never really got to go anywhere or do anything with it. In OVW, you're very limited, and I felt like although they put me with 2 guys that are great and are great workers, there was no chemistry character-wise between us. So I really would go out and perform and just be like, I don't know what to do, you know, and they would give me a spot where I would do one wrestling move, but as far as like interacting, like how Crowbar and I would interact or whatever, there was none of that. They were a tag team and they worked together, and I was just there.
Right.
And I wasn't incorporated at all. And I don't know if that went into play of why I was let go or not, but I know that it kind of bummed me out, and that was another reason to kind of walk away with your tail between your legs, because you're just like, gosh, I didn't feel like they gave me a fair shake. And I mean, I cannot tell you how many character ideas, besides Lucy, that I would email to them and say, well, let's try this, let's do this. And they just never went for any of it. So, oh well.
Well, you're still back on the indies now. Are you still as gung-ho about wrestling as you used to be, or are you kind of thinking, well, maybe there's a life after wrestling?
Well, there's got to be life after wrestling for when you're a woman. I mean, gosh, I'm getting old. I don't have much time left. So, but I took a 2-year. When I got let go by WWF, I sold my boots. I actually sold my boots to Mickey James. She was my roommate, and
oh, really?
I just said I'm never doing this again. I had my last show, and then after a while, you know, I worked at a gym, and, you know, people would be like, oh, what you doing, more. I guess I just was like, man, maybe I'll do, like, an indie show for the hell of it, a guy that I used to work for. And I did one show, and I was able to be Daffney, and I was able to connect with the crowd, and it felt so good to be able to come back and capture some of that magic that, well, I mean, not everyone thought so, but people that were fans of Daphne, to see that magic again, for people to enjoy me, for me to make them laugh, to entertain people, and after the show just to make them smile and then say, wow, it was so much fun watching you, you know, I'm coming to the next show. I got to get a taste of that again, and I said, man, it's in my blood. I was like, I can't walk away. I tried that hard to walk away. So, you know, and now it's like I really need to grow up and get a real job, but I'm having fun. And I don't really have any expectations. I mean, I'm not trying to go anywhere or do anything. I'm just doing indie shows, and I have a show in Washington State in August, and I have a show in New York, I think, next month. And I don't do very many shows a month, but you know, and I work otherwise, but I just do it for fun. Now, just because I did love it that much. I mean, that's why, you know, when I first got the job, they were like, will you train? And I was like, hell yeah, man, this is awesome. Like, I get to freaking roll around with men and act like an idiot. And those are like my 3 favorite things. So.
And kick some ass.
Kick ass, six, nice.
So, pretty much, what does the future hold for Daphne, you know, Jen and Lucy?
I'm just taking bookings again, and you know, I just anytime I get to go off and do a show, I consider it an honor, and I feel blessed to be able to still do it. and that people still want to hire me. They're not like, who are you? You know, that people actually remember who I am sometimes. I just kind of taking it as it comes and enjoying every show that I get to do. This last show that I did, the last couple shows for Wrestle Birmingham, I got to see old friends. And, like I was at the power plant with Felix Skipper, and he was on the show with David Young. And I've known David Young since NWA Wildside days. And, so it was just really cool to see people you haven't seen them in a while and see them be successful and know they deserve it. And just be like, hell yeah, good for you.
All right.
I enjoy that part of it, too.
All right. I think you mentioned a couple of dates. I don't know if you want to promote them, but this is what we call shameless plug time. So,
Oh, yeah.
Plug and chug is what I call it. Plug and chug.
Yep.
Plug and chug? Why, do I need a beer or something?
Probably, maybe like a High Life or Milwaukee's Beef.
It always makes it a better broadcast.
No, Corona Light. Corona Light with a wine. Or, just why to mess with beer? Why not just go straight to the liquor? Long Beach or a shot of tequila.
I prefer a Black Chick Brandy, all whiskey and a splash of Coke.
Is it Long Beach? Or is that what you're talking about? What did you say?
It's called a Black Chick Brandy. It's Dimebag Joey used to drink it when he was with Pantera, when he was still alive and playing for Pantera. It was his drink of choice.
Oh yeah.
I'm not big on dark liquors like bourbons and whiskeys. I can just do light vodkas and a light rum and stuff like that. I don't know if that's wussy or not, but like anything really dark makes me.
It doesn't matter. It still burns coming down.
Wussy is I drink Diet Coke.
The first one does, and then after that it's all great.
Yeah, after that, like water. Just stay away from absinthe. That's my only advice. That's some bad times on that one. Anyways, James, I think it's time for word association time. I know everybody does this, but if we're going to say like a name, phrase, question, and just kind of give us the first thing that comes to your mind.
Yeah, and if you have a story, feel free to share that as well.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, James, you go first.
All right, the first name on the list is the Nasty Boy, Brian Knobs.
Wow. He is the first ever person that I pulled a rib on. And because I was green, I didn't know anything about it. So I actually got to rib him because he had been ribbing me all freaking day. And I finally got him back at the end of the night, and all the boys were like, "Oh, she got you! That's cool! That's one of the boys!" So, but he was wonderful. He had a very, he just added color to the locker room. He was always pulling pranks and always doing things. And he would always you've got 20 million bags because you're in Europe, and you get off the bus, and you get everything all stacked up, and he walks over and kicks everything over. You're like, thanks, Dom. Appreciate it there, brother. So later on that night, it was like me, Nick Patrick, Bret Hart, Knob. Gosh, who else?
That's an odd couple.
So bad. Oh, Hacksaw was there.
Oh.
So we're all, you know that? So we're all hanging out in the room, and Knobs is like just picking on me, because I'm the only chick and whatever, and he's just giving me a hard time. And he's like, don't fall on Daffney. So they all go to jump on me. I go to jump on the bed, and they hit the bed. I fly in the air and land on the nightstand, and I hit my head on the clock radio.
Oh.
So I just went down I'm selling it. And at that point, I was so drunk, I didn't feel a damn thing. But I was like, man, and I was like, oh my God, are you okay? I'm like, no. Act like I'm crying, and I looked up, and I was like, I got you. So that was the first time I ever pulled a rib on anyone, and he took it well. He was a little bit embarrassed, but he took it well. He laughed. So, and then the next day, I was so wasted. I'm getting in the next day. I'm in the shower, getting ready to get on the plane, fly home, and I'm washing my hair, and I'm going, why does my head hurt? And then I got in the elevator, and go down Nick Patrick. The door opens up, and Nick gets on the elevator. He's like, how you feeling, kid? And I was I'm okay, I'm a little hungover, but my head hurts. And he's like, you're crazy. You're crazy. And I'm like, yep, I know. I don't just play one on TV. So that was funny. So I can't just one word answer Brian Knobs because that's a funny story.
Here's an interesting one. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us, but I heard a story that you actually squatted him. The wall?
Oh, Jerry Judy. Yeah, I squatted the wall. I had a bet with Donnie Harris. They were like, I was like, I could squat over 300 pounds. This is another after Nitro in the bar drinking story. Yeah, that they all did. So, and he's like, no way. And I was like, whatever. And I went over and I was like, lash the roof. I'm like, how much you weigh, brother? He's like, 225. I'm like, so I like took his hand. I just actually squatted Balls Mahoney at a show I did in New York, and he was just freaking out. He's like, no way can you squat me. And I was like, come here, Balls. I was like, and I squatted him, so he was impressed. And then he made me squat his wife and took a picture.
That's awesome.
So then I got Lash, and I like squatted him, and I was like squatted him like 20 times. And I was like, get out of here. And so when I was like, Tootie, how much you weigh? He's like 305. I was like, all right, Donna Harris. If I squat Tootie, that's what I called him.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I squat him, would he gonna buy me? You're paying my tab. He's like, all right, fine. Because he wouldn't let me squat him. He was too much of a wimp. He was afraid he was gonna look like a wimp getting squatted like by a girl. So I picked Jerry up, put him over my back, and squatted him 3 times. And the whole bar is looking, and they're all like, 1, 2, 3. And then I was like, you better pay up, brother. And then Tank Abbott outstaged me and took his teeth out and made Jerry Tootie stand on his face.
What?
So, yeah. So I was outdone. So then kind of like put out my fire a little bit. But
hey, at least you got your tab paid.
What?
At least you got your tab paid.
Yeah, I got my tab paid. Donnie had to pay it. I was like, I told you. Don't ever doubt me. So, but, yeah, I squatted him, and rest in peace, brother. It was real sad when I heard that. I cried. I wish I lived up north so I could have gone and paid my respects. But he was a really nice guy. Really nice guy.
Okay. The next word on our list is symphony.
Alicia, Red Shamrock. Just been cool as hell and hot. And I wish she was still around. I don't know. She doesn't work anymore.
I heard she has 2 kids now.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I did not know that.
I actually interviewed
her. I haven't spoken to her since TNA pay-per-view when she came with Ken. And she's the same old chick. Just cool. We used to travel together, WCW, and, here and there, not all the time. And she's just so down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked her. She's really cool. Well, I'm pleased for her. That's nice.
Here's someone that I'm not sure you really know very much of. I know you worked with her in the ring a couple times. Tammy Lynn Sitch.
Yeah, you just want a one-word response. My sympathies for Chris.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be hard to go through. And the show I just did was the 1-year Candido Memorial show. And hope she's all right.
That's good. All right, how about somebody who's now doing adult films, Tylene Buck, Major Guns?
Major Guns. Gosh, one-word response? I don't know. Go, girl. Make you some money, I guess.
All right, we have.
I don't think I would be renting any of them, but do your thing. If that's what I don't judge. So that's what she wants to do. Do it.
All right, 3 left, and then we'll let you go.
Okay, I'll take the next one.
Okay.
David Flair.
Last I heard, he was in Puerto Rico. And last time I saw him work, he's come a long way, baby. And proud of him. And I wish him the best. I have no idea. Like I said, I heard he was in Puerto Rico. I have no idea what he's doing now. But, just keep on plugging. Like I said, last time I saw him do a match, like he was like selling like his dad and doing some more things like his dad. And I just feel bad for him that he has such big shoes to fill, and he got pulled into the business so young and was just stuck on TV right away, you know. And I felt like I'm sure that he felt a lot of pressure.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he's a sweetheart, and I hope I get to do a show with him again one day. That'll be cool.
Mhm. All right. Second to last is the Queen of Extreme, Francine.
Oh, it's my girl. My idol. I can't tell you how much tape I watched on her, studied her. She's so, so talented, and it just all comes naturally. And she's one of my best friends, so I'm not biased or anything. But, before I even met her, I worshipped her. And then when I met her, it was just, and she's been there for me, and she's one of the reasons why she's telling me, Shan, just come and do an all-girl show so you can just hang out with me, And I was like, okay. And then I had a blast, and she's just, she cares about me as a person. I love her, and she's a wonderful, wonderful person, and I really hope that they utilize her talent.
I hope so, too.
I really do. She's just, when she is on the screen, I can't take my eyes off her. Because she's got that much charisma.
I agree.
And like I said, I was like that before we were friends. And when we became friends, and the first time I met her, I was like, oh my God, it's pretty great. But and then we became friends, and I just got to know her as a person. And she is just one of the sweetest. She's great. She's absolutely wonderful. So kudos to Francine. Franny, my girl.
Awesome.
Okay, last one.
Last one. Vince, which Vince do you want to do, James? Vince?
Go ahead and give Vince Russo.
So Vince Russo, then.
I don't know where he's at now. I heard he was doing some Ring of Glory thing. He wanted me to come in, but and work it, but he wanted me to work a singles match. And I was like, man, I was going to go to the show. But I will always, always give thanks to Vince Russo. He is the one who wrote the storyline to put the strap on me. He incorporated me into a lot of storylines. He would use me, and he would take me aside and give me constructive criticism as well as just praise things that I did, and would make me feel like I was appreciated out there, that I wasn't just, the chick with the duo, that I was out there and that I was part of the group, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I'll always be thankful for him for making me feel like more than just the chick on the side. And you know what I mean? And using and giving me opportunities to show some things that I could do that I thought were entertaining, that sometimes got over.
We can't thank you enough for joining us.
Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias. Yeah, I have to do the Hispanic thing for you at the time. I'm trying to learn Spanish, so I'm learning in just bits and pieces at a time. So I am a tía nueva y a sobrino.
Yeah, as long as you know donde está el baño, and that's it.
The only Spanish I remember.
Es cerveza, por favor. That's all you need to do. Those two words. Those two phrases that we set.
No, there's a few more, but and I know all the cuss words too, which is nice, but I work with a bunch of Hispanic guys, and so they're always trying to teach me stuff, and I'm always trying to learn. So I think it'd be cool to learn a second language.
See, because I'm screwed, because the only thing I know in Spanish is donde está la biblioteca, and I never go to the library, so it really doesn't do me any good.
It's kind of useless, James.
Yeah.
You can't even read. So.
Oh, I can read. I'm not that dumb. All right, where can fans find out more information on Daffney?
Well, I have a website, and God bless Stephanie, my webmistress. She's been doing some updates and stuff, but mostly this stuff is on MySpace, which I hate to plug MySpace, but I did it to just see what would happen. And I got people coming out of the woodwork going, man, I remember WCW, and then I got bookers, contacting me through there. So that's mostly like what I've been doing, as far as contacting me or any updates on me. I'll have pictures of me with the strap. I think I got a picture of me and Joe from the last show up there right now. And then I got a couple surprises up my sleeve. I took some pictures. I'm going to put those up here in the next couple weeks. So I just try to change and add new ones. But only because MySpace is so user-friendly, and I can't do a website. I'm just so computer illiterate. But I need to bug Steffi to do it. So, you know, but that's mostly that, or my website is that Steffi does is lucifer.cjb.net.
Excellent.
And mad love for Steffi, my girl, and she just kept it up. Even when I quit, she still kept it up.
Yep.
And so that's got a lot of old school pictures. Got WCW, Ring of Honor. It's from when I first started. And so she's slowly adding things here and there. And she's the greatest. There's a plug for Steffi. Go, Steffi.
Excellent. Well, thank you. What was that?
I said boo. Just right there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just excited for Steffi.
Oh, okay. All right, well, thank you so much. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks, Daffney.
Yes, thank you.
All right, before I do let you go, two last things. We're not recording right now, by the way. We're done. Okay, I wanted to ask you if you can give us a promo.
Oh,
Just
sure.
Just saying this is Daffney and you're listening to the Wrestling Epicenter. You can add your own thing to it. If you could do the screen, that'd be awesome, but you don't have to.
Your way.
Yeah.
Can I please plug my title?
Oh, sure. Oh, absolutely. Please do.
Okay. I will do it.
Okay. That's 5.
Promo and what else?
The other thing was just, you mentioned that you just got a tape of something in, and you don't have a VCR, so I was just going to say, if you ever decided you wanted it converted, I'd be happy to do that for you.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would, actually. If I am not able to do it here in the next few weeks, I get somebody from MySpace. Sent me a message and said, I just got to take this view at Ric Flair's house. And I was like, are you kidding me? And I said, will you please send me a copy and I'll send you an autographed picture. And so he did. So I did. But I haven't been able to see it. So if I have a hard time getting it converted, then I will definitely take you up on that.
Sure, because I do a lot of that stuff for the WEW shows. A couple of like Francine always asks me, could you send me a copy, and Simply Luscious too. So I'd be happy to do that for you.
Oh, you gotta send me a copy. I just did the last one.
Which one were you on?
I did the one in Atlanta, just the one in April.
That doesn't mean it's aired yet. I'm trying to think of what it's called, nude erotica or something like that, or something like that.
I don't know what it was. I was Lucifer, and there was an angel, and Francine was...
A drunk?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I think that one starts airing on the 18th, so...
Sweet.
Hey, Jen?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would like that.
Okay.
I would love that.
Sure.
Thanks, Daffney. Have a good night.
All right, I'd be glad to help
Thank you.
All right, I'd be glad to help you. All right, so do you want me to count you down to do that promo?
Sure.
All right, he's just going back to his office. That's all he was saying.
Okay.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2.
This is Daffney, first ever woman, Alabama Junior Heavyweight Champion of the world, and you are listening to the Wrestling Epicenter.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Does it again?
Yeah, sure. And
Take wonder. Woo!
Yep. Okay, so keep in contact through MySpace, and if you need any help with any of that stuff, I'd be glad to do that for you.
Yeah, I'm going to shoot you an email, James. If I can't get that converted, I'll definitely send it to you, because I'd love to get that.
Sure, I thought
and then I would love to get, the WEW stuff when it airs, because I don't think Dan's going to send it to me. He didn't book me for this next show in August. I contacted him, and he was just like, we're not flying anybody in. And I was like, all right, brother, whatever.
I think what he's doing is, I think he's trying to get his own core group of girls that aren't necessarily wrestlers.
Yeah.
And I think he's trying to do that for cost-cutting measures.
Yeah. And I don't do singles matches, so, and he wants all matches. And the fact that I just was managing, I mean, he's, I don't know.
Yeah.
So whatever. I mean, maybe he'll use me on the next time. I don't know. I don't want to burn any bridges there, but I know he's not using me on the next show. So.
Alrighty.
Oh, well.
Well,
But okay, thanks. Yeah, I better run so I can make my cookout.
all right. Take care.
But okay, you too.
Thank you. I hope that was better for you than the last one.
Oh, that was perfect.
Thank you.
And I hope it was good for you.
Oh, it was awesome. Thank you so much.
Okay.
All right. Take care of yourself.
Bye.
Hey guys, it's James over at the Wrestling Epicenter. I want to thank you for taking the time to check us out here on YouTube. If you haven't already done so, please do me a favor and click that subscribe button. Keep yourself informed on the latest videos that we upload. In addition, if you would do us a favor and slam that like button for us as well, maybe even share it on Facebook and Twitter, we would sure appreciate it. Let everyone know what you're listening to. Without any further delay, let's get to your video here on YouTube.
The preceding announcement was paid for by the Wrestling Epicenter.
I'm to listen, and if you like what you heard, I'm glad. If you didn't like what you heard, well, go fuck yourself.
Most people done hung up on me.
We had a lovely conversation.
What a show.
Oh, mercy, Daddy.
On your radio dial. Don't hang up. Bye-bye.